Yes, welcome guys to our season finale review, as well as also season wrap up of The Expanse. And we're talking about episodes 12 and 13 because they had a 2 hour season finale on, of course, Sci-Fi Network. And it will be moving, just so you guys know, we'll be moving to Amazon next year. So just a caveat. And of course, with me and my usual hosts, actually not usual hosts because we've never ever done anything for Expanse, but with me this time, starting off is Andrew. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Oh man, it's been a long road this season for Expanse fans, but it's great to be at the end of it now and have it as a whole.
Yes, exactly. And of course, Bored All Day, aka Bored Buddha Lou. How's it going, man?
I'm doing well. Let's discuss.
All right, let's kick it off. I kick it off. As I said, we will be talking about the last two episodes, 12 and 13, and then we'll kind of recap the season for us. And then those who've read the books, like myself and Andrew, will talk about some similarities and differences. And I want to thank Andrew for getting me on the books because, yeah, it's been a fun ride reading, at least listening to them. Because I,
Oh yeah, well I was a little aggressive about getting you into this
yeah,
series
yeah,
too.
a tad bit aggressive, a little bit. All right, we'll kick it off with you, Lou. The season finale, episode 12 and 13. How like what did you think? How did you like it? Did you enjoy it? What was your experience?
All I'm gonna say is Amos. Amos is the effing man. Headshots. That's all I like. He don't aim for the body. He takes your head off.
Okay,
Yeah.
so headshots for Amos. Anything else about the episode?
The episodes were great. You know, I've been hesitant to dive into these books, but listening to you two is making it harder for me to stay away from the books, especially with this damn ending in season three. I want to know where they're going in season four.
I would say, can I say this? I would say it ends similarly in the books. The ending is pretty much the same. So you're not being left out at anything. They really got to where it ended. How about you, Andrew?
Oh, I loved it. I mean, I've read all. I'm all the way caught up on the books as we are now, and so it's been a little bit since I've read book 3 and 4, well, actually, technically, it would be book 2 and 3 for
Two
this
and three.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, and oh gosh, it makes me want to reread them. Like the editing was superb. The I love how they got to concentrate more. They did more world building with this season because we got to see more variety of ships. We got to see how the cultures interact more. Like they uh like especially by the end of this, we got to see kind of the Belter identity and culture a lot more fleshed out, which I really enjoyed. It's just this, yeah, it's pretty much second to none as far as world building right now on science fiction television right now.
Yeah, I enjoyed the episodes. I felt it felt well. It felt a little rushed to me, but then again, because I just finished listening to the book. So
Yeah.
what I mean by rushed is they cut out certain things, they rearranged certain things, and I think it did fit well for what they had in the show, where the show story
Mhm.
was. That kind of stuff did. It was a bit chaotic at the end in a way, even with or without reading the book. It felt chaotic, and chaotic by design. Not that it was bad chaotic. It just felt like a lot of stuff was going on, and it. What I liked that it showed the true nature of human beings in this world.
Mhm.
Belters, Martians, Earthers, uh, everyone is distrustful. They don't work together. They don't want to understand anything, and they just want to blow shit up. That's just a standard affair with humans. I mean, think about it. In episode 13, is it 13 or 12? At least part of the episode, the 2 episodes, the explosion to test their theory, they set up a nuke. I mean, for crying out loud, this thing is slowing you down in some fashion. You heard that when a guy lobbed a grenade, it exploded a grenade, and that's what caused your slowdown. Yet you want to blow up a nuke. You're like,
Right.
it's not close by. It's not close by.
Well, and also Ashford. So with Ashford, so he ended up wanting to try and take out the ring once he realized that they were going to try. Basically, the ring was going to go up, and not the ring, but the this whole space was
There's-
basically going
yeah.
to annihilate the solar system. And but it's like, why would he think that that laser would do anything to the like at all other than like annoy it and then swat them faster. That and that was kind of like in the book. It's like in one thing I will say, Ashford was I think was painted from what I remember seems to have been painted a lot more sympathetic and more understandable light in this in the show than he was in the book.
Absolutely. Ashford in the book was like you just wanted him to die,
Yeah,
I
straight
wanted
up.
to die in
yeah.
the show too.
Yeah, Ashford in the
Well,
show, there were times where like he made so Ashford made some really good suggestions in the book, in the show, sorry. He said, bring your wounded over. There are certain things that he did in the show that made him go, okay, this guy understands. But then the other things that you just knew that, he was there for his own OPA carving out, type session. And granted, that's because there's a third character in that book that doesn't exist in the show.
yeah,
So,
and
so they
yeah, and
melded some of those features with the captain and Ashford.
absolutely. Well, and I think that was kind of okay because they'd introduced so many characters this season that that
Introducing another one would just be way too much, I think.
especially for how that character ends up because in the show in the season finale, drummer Drummer takes up basically the mantle of this character Bull and whatnot, but they kind of change stuff around, which I'm glad they did because I like the character of Drummer. We might touch on a little bit later with the differences,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I think that a lot of the changes that they made worked for this. It didn't hinder the flow of these episodes really, but you do need to watch the second to last episode and the last episode basically as one entity, even though they're two separate episodes. It's incomplete if you don't
Oh yeah,
watch.
which is why it's like that, that 2 hour change. You were saying something about Ashford there, Lou.
Oh,
He just needed to die. And that was it.
Okay,
Certain
question.
people look, that lady priest, she annoyed me all season. But I guess she would have because of all that God preaching crap. That just annoys me. I hate it in TV shows and I hate it in real life. Don't
But
preach that shit to me.
she wasn't preaching though. She
She
actually
was too damn godly, bro.
no she
Oh,
no no she,
Like Amos said in the final episode, yo, these fools are dead. Let's go.
yeah, but remember,
No, no, no.
you
Look,
see,
woman,
I
let's
have to
go.
I have to disagree with you though. And I think this is maybe the mistake they made in the show against the book. Because to me, she didn't come off as preaching because she never actually preached anything. She really didn't. All
yeah.
she did was always talk about we need to understand and care. The difference in the book is she
And
did
that too.
exactly the difference in the book is she did exactly that. And then you had other characters who were preachy,
Hmm.
who were either ministers or something who were really preachy, and she was like, no, I just say we should just understand, that kind of thing. That's where it makes her look off balance, because when you put her against the other characters who basically were trying to use God as a weapon, or to weaponize people,
Hmm.
made her look like the sane one, because all she just said was, hey people, like, I'm here for you. She was more like to me, she came off more like a therapist, a guidance counselor type person than a preacher. you know
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it's and then we're both you and I both kind of have this pre-done image. We're tainted a little bit by because of the fact that we've known this character from the book, and so we
See,
have that
not
juxtaposition
necessarily
in our
though.
mind.
But check this out though. I started reading the book like halfway. Like, I started reading the book
Ah,
after I was introduced to the character. I remember when she first came up, partly in the season to help
oh,
the UN minister. That's when I started reading the book.
ah.
So
So you skipped book 1 and 2 and just read book 3?
no, I read book 1 and 2. I had finished 2, and then I jumped into 3 right then, and 3 was quite a quick read for me. Actually, I spent a lot of time just reading the book. That's probably why. But that's why I said it. I didn't feel tainted because it just felt like the natural progression of the character either way. Like, I look at both and I go, it's the same. I mean, you may change dialogue here and there, but it literally was the same character.
Hmm.
In this person. But I do hear you. If you don't have that balance, I can see how she can come off, because she was trying to do what Holden said at the end of the episode. And remember when Holden was like, "Can we not try that whole shoot everybody stuff. Let's just use another option. And that's what she was saying the whole time. It's just that coming from someone like her or like a preacher, no one's going to fully pay attention. Everyone will think she's talking about her faith, not the fact that she's using her mantle of faith and saying, no, let's just not shoot.
Yeah, she's not using it as a high like a higher up soapbox, have her holier than thou attitude, which was really nice, which I liked about her character in the books, and I like that they introduced her early in the story, like they did Avasarala in the first season 1, because it helps build the character a little bit, especially when we have like the fact that she has a family and everything.
Yeah, the funny thing about it, you realize in the book is that she has no connection to the former prime minister of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
She has no connection to him at all.
Yeah, there's no like protest stuff.
There's nothing. All that stuff we saw was all, but it fits so well, like to the point where I was looking for it in the book. I was reading the book. I was going, no, like I was like, wait, somebody else has this connection, not her. Oh, I prefer her connection. I mean, like it was done well, where it just kind of flowed through. In there.
Now, please tell me we're going to get more of the new prime minister in season 4.
I think we will, because I mean, just wait.
It can't be done.
So I don't know about the books, but the way it ended, where she sees the map of the 1,000 different universities they have access to now, and that aspect, I think she's like, okay, because think about it, they didn't state it, they never stated the numbers in the show really, but in the book, Earth has 30 billion people. Mars has 4 billion. Mars is almost as populated as the Earth as it is now. And they live in domes. And the belt is about almost 1 billion. So there are like 35 billion people in the solar system. That's a lot of resources.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
and think about this. What's going to happen to the existing power structure of the solar system and power play? Because, like, for example, Mars, their whole society is based around terraforming the planet. Well, they have access to all these solar systems now that might have habitable planets. What's that going to do to Mars's society? Or what's going to happen to the Belter society?
I mean, what it's going to do is you get a planet. They're going to have their open.
But it's never just the planets, though. It's the fact that. But before we even get to that, let's just pocket that for a section here. Let's talk about the episode. A couple of things. The visions that he saw of. Okay, first of all, who killed the guys who made? We don't even know who made the protocol. Yeah, somebody wiped them out. They try to wipe those people out, and that whoever that thing was, or
all those answers probably come in some of the later books.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, but that's a question out there.
Look,
then the
best death, I have to say, was the kid, the person Naomi killed with that damn elevator shaft.
Oh, that kid, the Belter kid.
Oh, he died so gracefully. Yeah, I loved it.
Well, and it's like oh man, it's because that character, I looked it up, and that character is only in. And I didn't even realize this too. He's only in the first book, but in the very light part. But also, apparently, I didn't even realize this. I look back. He is. Remember in the first season when Miller busts those kids stealing water?
Yeah, he's the one.
Yeah, he's one of them. I didn't even realize that was the same kid.
Yeah, it's the same kid.
And he was the same kid.
Yeah, because in the books, that's not the person that's killed. There's somebody else. But he had to.
Whoever that person was deserved to die.
Yeah, you need to go. But here's the part that to me is interesting is. Remember at the very end, Miller says, "I'm going to hitch a ride." So Miller now is part of Holden's psyche.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, Holden can't catch a break, man. I mean, he's just chilling on. Was it the steps? And then they're going like on the outside of the gate, and it's like the liquid just goes through him, and his eyes like, dude, really, man? It's like this writer must hate you.
No, I mean that's just them telling you that I guess Miller has gone with them because
well, then where's Julie?
No, he said it. Julie's dead. That's not even Miller. That's not Miller.
I know that's not Miller, but it's like, yo,
the reason why the reason why his personality is largely intact is because he was the last person to to be absorbed, and and so the protomolecule was more mature than it was when because Julie was the epicenter, and Miller came in a lot later, and so it was more sophisticated when it absorbed him. So, and then it recognized, oh, he's an investigator, and so it's like
So
they
we need to,
repurposed
yeah,
him as
exactly,
the
yeah.
investigator.
Which is why he said, "I'm not Miller, but I've got his sensibilities, and I've got a fondness for you, and you're the best connection we have to you." So
Oh, also, remember the shot they showed a couple of shots this season of some protomolecule in the bulkhead
yeah,
of the
of the show.
Rocinante
Yeah,
from whenever from the season finale that
From
originated in the
last
season
year.
finale
yeah,
of
yeah.
the season 2. So
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything other than that? I thought that was just like an antenna for the protomolecule. Of okay, I guess it's gonna play a part in season 4. In season,
well, let's just say it has something to do with Miller showing up not inside the ring area.
oh yeah, no, it's an antenna. That's what I.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I said. I figured it was an antenna because when I saw it, I was like, okay, fine, this makes sense. It's an antenna because the protomolecule can talk to each other over space and time without any loss of
Dude, they did
Mhm.
such weird time jumps this season because, like you said earlier, what happened to all the proto molecules that were shot out of that base?
Oh, they
Where did
shut it
they
down.
go?
Though, remember?
They didn't shoot all of them down, did
Yeah, they
they?
did. They remember when
Yeah.
they said what's his name? The butcher of something.
Oh, George
The guy from
Johnson,
Johnson.
Fred
Johnson.
Johnson.
Oh,
Johnson shot.
Tyrese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Johnson shot all of them down.
But see,
Mhm.
he didn't even play much of a factor this season.
He really doesn't play until a certain point, and it's fine. He's not there for this season per se.
Yeah, he has a bigger role in some of the later books that we haven't gotten to yet. So
I mean, you think about it with the 1,000 gates open. It's time for exploration.
1300.
1,300, right? It's time for exploration to different worlds, different spaces, human beings. So the he's the leader of the OPA. So OPA is going to send ships. Now depends on the things that the problem is it's not one gate. If it was one gate open on the other side, then they would have gone in as a united human force. There are
Mhm.
1,300 gates. Somebody would just be like, no, you know what? They went here. I'm going to that one, just on their own. Like
And
a
let
ship
that be the
captain could
one
be,
that's going to be the most dangerous.
a ship captain could be like, I'm going there. Done. Like I don't even need to go anywhere else. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there could be another occurrence like that dumb idiot Belter slingshotter.
Exactly.
Right.
Or you could have what you probably have is depends on how many resources that you can muster, right? Would you do 5 flotillas and do 5 different spaces, and then Mars would do another, like Mars won't join Earth, they would just do another 5 on their own and go like
Right.
go somewhere else.
Well,
You
and
know?
also like who like are anyone is anyone going to be willing to wait for people to check out whether these systems are safe to go to or not?
That is the difference between the book and the show. In the book, the behemoth was kept in place as a space station around the other station in within the ring, right? So that whenever human ships come, because they can actually use that as a base station. So
Mhm.
basically, the OPA brought in soil and land. They were going to reformat it back into like a living environment, which I was hoping they would do, but
Yeah, I'll be honest. They're probably just going to be like have a line of dialogue. It'll be there, and they'll be like, because if this follows the books, there's going to be another significant time gap between
yeah,
season 3 and 4.
I mean, it's going
And
to take them a while to get back
well,
just to.
yeah, it takes like 76 days to get there. Like, it take or however long it
No,
takes a
it's
while to
six,
get
7 months.
or something like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
It's
no,
You're
they said 7 months in the trying to leave.
No. It
in
takes 7 months. So the ring is in Uranus, which is on the other side of the galaxy. If you're leaving the Milky Way, that's where it is. It's so basically the ring is like where my chair is, and then the sun is pretty much where my hand is, and this is where all the planets are. So Venus, Earth, Mars, and then the belt is right here.
Yeah.
So they have like 7 months on a 1G burn to get there.
Yeah. And then they'll have to slow down before they get in too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so oh man, I really loved how they handled the transition with the book in this. Like this whole section, I would definitely say just overall from the season, I enjoyed the second half of the season more than the first half of the season.
No, I enjoyed both. I enjoyed the first stuff. I
Oh, I got
liked
both too, but yeah.
I liked finding this guy, his kid, and I wanted to see what they would do with the proto-article. And I liked how they had a switch where they were like they solved it. Remember, the show's always been doing solving small problems. Season one, and then they do a small problem, and then a big problem. So this was the small problem,
Hmm.
and then the big problem was, of course, the ring. Same thing with season one, where it was finding Julie Mao, and then you know Eros.
Eros,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now,
So
does the sister become good going forward in the book?
I don't know.
Or
I
was
mean,
it
like I
only
said, it
I
ended
know,
where it
but
ended.
I'm
I'm
asking
not gonna
Andrew.
say.
No. Don't even try it. Don't even try. Look, you know how it is. You can type it, send him a text message, but don't even dare.
I'll just cross my arms and just
I would say this though. I didn't like. I
Put
didn't.
up two for other books and put up a one for no.
I would say
Is
I
that a
wasn't.
two I see?
I wasn't too happy with her portrayal within the show. I felt because they cut out a lot of things, it didn't. Her twist and turnaround didn't really affect me as much
because it was
because
time frame.
yeah, because there's a time crunch in there, and to me, I think killing off Tilly was a problem. Even
No,
if you
she
just
had to go too. She was annoying.
no, you needed to keep Tilly for it because the way Tilly is with her, um,
Oh yeah.
like Tilly, even if you didn't, Tilly in the book was like her auntie. You just needed to make Tilly in
Oh.
the show like a family friend, big sister, right? That's what they just didn't do. Like to me, you shouldn't have killed Tilly off then because um I don't know. It just felt like that
Well,
switch she
killing
had.
Tilly is what gave the UN lady the power to go and bash her upside the back
No,
on the
she didn't. You
Rosinante.
didn't need to. Oh, she had brought Tilly over and Tilly not dying. And as soon as she said, he's chasing out James Holden. She was going to follow anyway. That's her character. That's how she's always been.
Yeah.
Her wife even said it. She always likes to go. She likes to be there. Like she's always the kind of person where like, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta go, and then you're like, why are you apologizing when you know you're gonna go anyway? Like that's just how she is. So that was the only part that I understand there's a time crunch. So I'm hoping like I really hope it's either more episodes or maybe season four. Book four is two books, two seasons. On if it's gonna be a lot of stuff in there, then book four should be season four and five, like on Netflix, like 10 episodes each. I'm
Well,
I'm
it's a 13 episode show, so Amazon probably going to keep it at 13. All I want Amazon to do is give it to me all at once.
man.
That's it. So we can come back next season, binge it through the weekend, and then discuss it when we're done. Kind of like how I want Star Trek Discovery to be, but
Yeah,
CBS won't do that.
CBS is not on that path right now for Star Trek Discovery. We'll see how it is. We'll see how it is. Any more thoughts, Andrew? Are you frozen? I think Andrew's frozen over there. Huh? That's weird. Any more thoughts from you, Lou?
No, I mean, the seasons were great. Overall, I liked how it began and ended. It seems to be Holden will play another gatekeeper role next season.
I mean, Holden is the main star of the show. Not Holden, not just Holden. The whole crew. The Rosinante is that whole crew. Remember, if you put it this way, right? Holden is the best leader, right? You've got the best engineer in the solar system there with Naomi. You've got the best pilot with Amos. Not Amos. What's his name? Shoot, I forgot his name. And then
Alex,
Alex, yeah.
Amos.
And then you've got the best badass in Amos. So I mean, you've got a whole crew, and it looks like at the end, it looks like Bobby might join them. So you've got the
Yeah,
best.
now Bobby's a part of the
You
team.
got Bob, the best
And then
fighter.
also the dude, the chick, what's her name? Miles' daughter's on the ship, and so is Preacher Lady.
Well, it depends though. See, they didn't state it because in the book they were shipping her back to Earth for a
Okay, well,
trial.
right now she's on the ship, and hopefully they get sidetracked and she becomes a part of the team because she
Well,
changed her thoughts on Holden.
no, she did. She did change her thoughts on Holden, but she also said she needed to pay for her crimes. Like she knew she killed. It wasn't that. See, the thing.
She killed plenty of
So,
people.
here's the part that I wish they built on. Remember the first guy she killed? That she said, her boss, her
Oh, she
supervisor,
bashed his head in against
bashed
the
his head,
thing, and
and
then she crushed it with her hand.
but she
Wow.
felt that was the one she felt bad the most about. In the book, that was the one that haunted her because that's the first person she ever killed.
Mm.
And
Well, it
also,
kind of haunted her here too, because she.
kind of, I wish they played it more, just a little bit more, because it was the first person, and also he was also really kind to her. He was like, just do this, do that, don't worry about that, blah blah blah.
Well, she used something that he told her.
Yeah, the reversing the
Uh-huh.
exactly. Yeah, so that was why I would. That's why I said that for me, I didn't like the handling because I wish even if they carried that through, it would really show the torment that she was going through because she never killed anyone before. If Holden was the first person she killed, it wouldn't have mattered to her. But
Yeah.
she killed this guy. And in the book, that guy was not her supervisor. She was a supervisor. He was underling and she was messing up. And he would help her fix stuff and go through changes. So, but it would be interesting to see though how it turns out. I think you know, uh it will pan out. But any more questions? I know we lost Andrew there. Probably
He'll be
internet
back shortly.
issues.
Yeah.
But
Now the question is like, what did they leave out of the show that was in the book?
From what I read in book 3, not much. I mean, the ending was, like I said, the ending is condensed. This ending sequence was condensed, but it still had a lot of the main themes and even story arcs. Like I said, on the Behemoth, there was the captain, there was the vice captain, and then there was a security guy. The security guy is the person who basically gets injured and uses the mech suit, like how Drummer did. So that was
Okay.
changed, and
So
then
they changed some
he's
storyline.
not in there, and then basically they split up his storyline into Ashford and Drummer. They kind of split it in there, but overall, like it was pretty similar. And then Bobby was never around. Bobby was not there at all because there was one part they even mentioned in the book. They're like, "I wish Bobby was on the Martian ship or something," but she wasn't there. But in this, it makes convenient sense because that's the only person who would slow down the other Martians for them in this one compared. So like I said, it wasn't like when you read it and you watch it, you go, okay, yeah, I mean it's pretty much close. You make changes for different formats in there. So for me, that was fine. That was good stuff. But yeah, I can't wait to read the 4th book. I can't wait to see what they do in season 4 on Amazon. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully Amazon splits it up if it's as condensed as Andrew's making it sound like there's a lot of stuff that's going to go on. And also it feels that way because now they're going to venture into another galaxy.
Other part of yeah.
Yeah, so that it's a whole new ball game. You have to introduce new things, new characters, all that kind of stuff. So for me, that if they can make it into 2 seasons, great. Because to me, for Amazon, if they can nail it like in the first season and continue, then people are going to watch more, and then we just get more Expanse, right? We just keep getting more and more. And
If they were to follow their logic, I believe there'll be 9 books in this series total.
yeah,
So you need at least 9 to 10 seasons to flesh out the whole story.
minimum. But which is why I say instead of speeding it up like they've done in Sci-fi, I think it's time to slow it down a little bit.
But that's going to be the thing. How will it do on Amazon? Numbers don't lie, man. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah, true. I think it will do well. I think it will do well. I mean, the amount of people who ask for it to be saved, save the show. So as long as those people watch, then we're fine. Like I'll be watching, so I'm there.
Yep. I'll get an Amazon Prime subscription just for that. Well, that and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they already have a lineup for us that we can go. Okay, yeah, there's stuff to watch. Speaking of subscription services, before we round up, DC Universe has finally been announced. And I'm happy to hear a lot of things I've heard in the like way in the past. I can't tell you who my source is, but it's basically, of course, every DC content ever will be up there. Now, there's no word on pricing, but it's supposed to be similar to Netflix. Why I like it is because it's going to be DC shows, the new shows they have, Titans, um, Thing,
Swamp Thing,
Swamp Thing, Harley
Young
Quinn,
Justice.
Young Justice, and then also Doom Patrol was also ordered. That's going to come later on next
Hmm.
year. Plus DC movies, all your DC movies, and comic books. Yes, finally somebody would do comic books on subscription. Bam, I'm happy. We're talking about DC Universe, DC's online service. Uh,
Oh yeah,
yeah, so I'm excited about it because I get like my whole DC package in one, and it'll be great, it'll be fun.
nice.
As long as
Yeah.
it's priced well, though. If you have to be at the very
Well,
least the same as Amazon in price. No, Amazon, sorry, Netflix, right?
Netflix, Netflix is $15 if you do the 4 screens. So for everything you just mentioned with the comic books and that vast library, a $13, $14 price tag a month isn't expensive.
Yeah, I agree. If you're getting all your DC comics, you're getting all your DC movies and old TV shows and new TV shows as well.
I, I'll say as long as I can get the Michael Keaton Batman, I don't really care that much.
That well, I guess
That's
you
like
summed it up. You
that's
just want one thing.
it's like no, technically two.
Okay, so you want two things, but you know how it is, right? All these services, they're not going to release it off the bat. What you have off the bat is probably the comic books, right? Comic books are the
Mhm.
ones you have. You'll probably release like the original Superman and maybe the first Michael Keaton Batman, and then a couple months later they'll add another one. And then what I want to watch is actually the Batman animated series and Superman animated series again.
Mm.
Like have that whole catalog. I can just jump in and watch it.
Oh
That would
man.
be yeah, that would be that's a lot of stuff to go through. So
Well,
it it's gonna be interesting though. Like all these services. Then we're gonna have a Disney one if you want to watch all your Star Wars stuff. Oh God have mercy.
I will say the nice thing about the Expanse going to Amazon, the fact that we'll get to binge a whole season instead of waiting every week.
So which means Expanse is most likely going to drop earliest end of 2019.
You know, if they need to take the time to do it, that's fine. Like to get
They
it right
don't
because
need to take the time to do it because the production studio handles all that.
No, no,
So
no,
people
I
but
with
wouldn't
bigger
be shocked if they're
budgets.
going back to work.
no, it depends on outline, storyline, and stuff. Because you know what, they shot this already, and it looks like they knew because the way it ended, you can call it a series finale as well.
Hmm.
Oh
Because
Yeah.
hell no!
yeah,
Not
yeah,
knowing that it had another 6 books to go.
no, no, no.
Well,
Shit.
If you never read the books,
Regardless if you didn't read the books or not, you wiki some of this stuff,
nah,
man.
that's just you, Lou, man. I'm just talking about people who watch shows and go, okay, this kind of ended well. Like I see, there's a whole new universe. They might exploit, they may not exploit, whatever. We don't know where they'll go, but that's the future. But they
mhm.
ended it. They ended it well. Where if the Expanse
Well,
never
no, like you said,
continued,
this was definitely a worthy season finale. I was satisfied, unlike Supergirl, hogposh of garbage. Other shows that will not be named, but they're on the CW that all sucked this season.
okay, all right, somebody's a little
So,
angry.
I'll agree with you there. It was satisfying. It gives you its closure.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Mhm.
closure, and then you can either open up a new chapter. So it's great. And I was saying while you were away that I said I hope that Amazon splits up book 4 into 2 seasons. Actually, I've not read it,
See,
but
Andrew,
eh,
you read
but
you read book 4. Does
but
it
can you
deserve
make
to?
it 2 10 season episodes? Maybe book 4 has season 5 would be book 4 and then book 5.
I would like. I think maybe 2 seasons is a little long, but I would like for them to concentrate the entire season on book four, because the books that come after, I could definitely see maybe 2 seasons out of them because the scale is different. But
Okay.
uh, yeah, the scale is and ramifications are big.
Oh
So
yeah, I
yeah,
figured it gets bigger
and
and bigger.
well, in this one's different. The book four is different in in ways.
Okay. All right. It's enough. I can see
Come
you.
on, man, give me some spoilers.
No, I can see your mind going like, "Ah, I can't say this.
I have such a heavy filter going
I,
through right now before it comes out of my mouth.
No,
right
no
now.
filters. No filters needed.
yes, filters are needed. Thank you very much, man. Anyway, on that note, we should wrap up the show. Thank you everyone for chiming in. So quickly, let's grade the season. I'll start off with you, Lou. Season 3 of The Expanse.
A minus.
A minus. Why A minus? Just quickly.
Because it's not an A plus, it's an A minus.
It wasn't perfect. Okay. How about
Yeah,
you?
there's look. There's no TV series that's gonna ever be an A plus because there's always gonna be some kind of
Oh,
flaw.
season 2 of Battlestar Galactica. That was an A plus, man.
Yeah, and first three.
I would have to revisit.
Yeah, when we get to season 4, yeah,
Well, see, season three. The first few episodes of season 3 are also I
were
include.
spectacular. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So A minus from you, Lou. Andrew, how about you?
I'd say definitely the best out of all 3 seasons. The best out of 3 seasons so far. It's gotten consistently better as it's gone.
Andrew, I said I needed a grade. You're trying to
Ooh,
just dodge it. I feel
ooh,
you. I see how you try to do. You're like, yeah, it's getting better and all that. Nah. I know how that works.
I'll say, I'll
A minus,
say
man. It's
it's
an A
been
minus.
like, if it's not an A, it's an A minus for sure. I like one thing that stood out in this season to me is I really like how they handled cinema, like production wise and cinematography, how they handled
Oh,
weightlessness. Zero G I think was great.
see. Now I could take it back to a couple of episodes ago when they had Holden floating in space. That shit looked horrible.
Oh, I know what you're
I
talking
could
about.
point out some flaws.
Yeah, there were some, but I mean,
There
it
were
was
some flaws. See, that's why I give it an A minus because when you're dealing with space, it's tricky, and that's where they get their minus because they failed that scene.
Well, they can't
uh,
film it on the vomit comet though, so
I know. All right. For me, I would give it an A minus also, not because of Lou's reason. Mine was because episode 12 and 13 felt really condensed and rushed. Um, and some key things were missing. I wish they added those. It wouldn't have added more time, but I wish they added those in there.
So
But
you
it
think
was
it would have benefited with episode 14?
no. I wish that they had added Melba showing remorse for killing that guy. More of that. She showed it once, maybe. I wish it was that because
Oh,
for
yeah.
me, that point, and then she listening to the priest, that would be the connection of saying, yes, I need to redeem myself. You know, that part was a little just quickly done for me.
yeah, it's also like she changed her mind just off of hearing what Holden be selfless, and it's like you didn't talk to him at all.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just needed some more of
Yeah,
that.
there's like an
And
Okay,
extra scene
now
they needed.
yeah, like one
was
maybe
that
one
in the
more.
book?
No, it was done differently in the book, but it was the same pathway in the sense of what I'm talking about. I was like, she showed the remorse about killing that guy weighed on her heavily in the book.
Hmm.
She like it always came back to mind. Even when she was captured, she was, I mean, she felt like that was a stain on her, if you want to
But
put it that way.
I see why she was doing it, but really, why was she doing it? Was she trying to redeem her father?
It's like it's. I mean, it's a sort of abused child sort of situation.
Because
She was the unloved child, if you will.
Yeah,
Like
yes,
uh,
I saw all that, but really, why help a dickhead when he really didn't deserve it?
well, she
because
didn't
she doesn't look
know.
at him at that. It's not that. And she looked. There's a point in the book where she said, "Oh, you know, if her father found out she's captured and she didn't kill Holden, he would be disappointed in her." That's how you know it's that daddy issue of saying she wanted approval. She wanted to save her father and should get approval at the same time.
Yeah, it was
And
emotional, not
yeah,
rational.
there's no rationale to it, and
Yeah,
that's why the relationship with trust me, the relationship with Tilly, her, and the priest. helps her balance herself out because
Mhm.
she was not thinking anywhere straight whatsoever. And the priest, you know how the priest talked to even Amos, and Amos was like, I'm going to protect you. She has the ability to talk to people and just be like, everybody's like, wow, okay, maybe I should listen to you. That's the other half was missing for me as well.
Mhm.
You know, but they showed that with her when she was helping the prime minister write his speeches. They just
Yeah.
didn't do that at the end. Because remember, she was the one that wrote that speech that convinced everybody, like, oh yeah, we need to go to war. You know, granted, the other guy tweaked a few things, but she can deliver like heartfelt messages, and that's
Mm.
why I said like some things were missing. Like, you know, they should have. Like even when she explained it to the reporter lady, said something like, "Oh, you should have led with that." I wish they had gone with the line more of saying, "Why didn't you just let her talk first?" Like, because she is that
Yeah.
person. Like, she just knows how to deliver a
You
message.
know, was it wrong? But when the reporter lady said her cameraman got killed, split in half by a door, what I was like, good, he deserved it.
Oh yeah. Well, in the book, they
It's worse.
graphically talk about like
Ooh.
that sort of stuff that happens because like in that scene where she's walking out and she's seeing for the first time what's happening, she walks by a cabin with an open door that has a guy who's basically been like he was like half off the bunk when it happened, and so he's basically like broken in almost like broken in an angle in half, like
Let's put
part
it
of
this
him's almost
way: the
flattened.
TV show was nice about the slowdown.
Yeah.
In the book, if you were not in, so like you know, like how
No, it
Amos
wasn't
was
nice,
floating.
dude.
No, no, no,
It gave us the best scene with the Belter slingshotter, man.
no,
His
no, no,
whole
no, 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 no,
body
no, no,
came
no.
No,
out.
this is
Not
it was so
even.
much more brutal in the book.
Oh,
When I
really?
say yeah,
Yeah.
if you were not in a crash couch, done.
Yeah, pretty much. And
So
if you even if you were like not fully on the crash couch, you could be maimed so horribly that you die that
so
you were
if you're in the
dead.
crash couch and maybe you were trying to get into the crash couch and you had like half your body out and half it in, like you would be broken like that.
Yeah.
So
Also,
that's why.
I
So
love
visually, it would look good if it was in a visual dictionary book, like they
Like
had
a
for some
like a
Star
graphic
Wars
novel,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
it's a pop out novel.
Yeah, dead people
Yeah.
just like, ooh, mangled.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 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 Luke.
I loved
You're
how
just
they
getting too
talked about
much.
the wounds, how like they couldn't because you never thought of this, and I love how they brought this from the book. How they talk about how in zero G wounds can't drain, and so that's the worst thing possible for wounds is to be in zero G,
Yeah.
and also like they're like little things too, like and I was worried in the first half of the season when they're on the UN ship that has the protomolecule all over it, and the UN girl who is infected, and she's like tears are in her eyes, and I'm like, please don't show her tears falling. Please don't show them falling. They're in zero G right now. And then later on, they had a Melba where she has the tears and they're showing them floating around her eyes. And it was just perfect.
No, not
'cause-
Melba. It was
Tilly.
not Melba,
Tilly.
Yeah, Tilly.
Tilly.
But like that was perfect.
Melba
It was
cried
nothing.
at the very end because remember they were accelerating out. So accelerate. They were doing a quarter G acceleration. So it was that. It's funny though. Like my friend's watching the show now, and she's going, that wouldn't work in space. I was like, look, relax. Let me explain it to you. That was on 1G thrust. This was a spinning drum, and this is a quarter G. And she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Appreciate it. Catch us again. We will try and do more of these shows for you. We
Don't
know this,
worry.
you know,
When the Expanse comes back, we'll be back.
yeah, because it's gonna be a binge at that point. But
Mhm.
thank you very much. Check out follow these guys on Twitter. Andrew, where can they find you?
You can find me at Fat Produce. Pretty much all of my. If you just go on Google Fat Produce, it's most likely going to be me.
All right. And Lou, what about you?
I'm bored all day.
Bored all day with 2 O's. Bored all day. And myself, bored at work. Thank you very much. And always enjoy entertainment.